Imagine standing in Africa, not in a city, not in a village, but over 100,000 years ago, surrounded by endless grasslands, towering trees, and the distant roars of predators. A small group of early humans huddle around a fire. They point, they gesture, they grunt. Then, one person opens their mouth and says something that no creature on Earth had ever truly said before. Not just a sound, not a warning, a real word, a symbol carrying meaning. If that moment happened, it changed everything. It led to civilizations, religions, science, music, and eventually, you, watching this video. But who was this mysterious person? And what was the very first word ever spoken? Let's travel back to discover one of humanity's greatest mysteries. For millions of years, our ancestors lived without language, as we know it today. Species like Australopithecus, and later, Homo habilis, almost certainly communicated. They could cry out in fear, signal danger, express anger, call their young. Even modern chimpanzees have dozens of different calls with specific meanings. But these aren't languages. They're fixed signals. Human language is different. It allows us to talk about things that aren't here. Yesterday, tomorrow, dreams, gods, ideas, stories, the ability to combine thousands of words into millions of new sentences is something no other known animal can do. Scientists believe this ability evolved gradually, over hundreds of thousands of years. Not overnight. There wasn't a magical moment when everyone suddenly started talking. Instead, language likely became more complex. With every generation, a clearer sound, a better sentence, a more precise way to describe the world. Eventually, someone said something that had never been said before. Maybe it was a mother's name. Maybe it was the name of a river. Maybe it meant, come, food, fire. No one knows. That person isn't famous. They left no writings, no monuments, no grave with their name. Yet they may have changed history more than any emperor who ever lived, because every language spoken today may trace its roots back to countless innovations made by ordinary people over tens of thousands of years. Now imagine the very first conversation in human history. Two people understanding each other, using spoken words. That moment changed humanity forever. This question fascinates millions of people. But the honest answer is, we have absolutely no idea. Some have guessed it was mother. Others think it could have been a warning, like danger, or perhaps something related to food. But these are only guesses. There is no evidence. The first spoken word vanished the moment it was heard. Unlike writing, spoken language leaves no direct record. Still, the first words probably weren't philosophical. They were likely practical. Food, water, fire, come, go, look. Simple sounds that helped people survive. Over thousands of years, these sounds became vocabulary. Vocabulary became grammar. Grammar became stories. Stories became civilizations. People often say humanity's greatest invention was the wheel, or farming, or fire. But none of those would have spread without language. Language allowed knowledge to pass from one generation to the next. Instead of every child starting from zero, they inherited the wisdom of their ancestors. How to hunt, how to make tools, which berries were poisonous, where rivers flooded. Speech became humanity's real superpower. You're continuing a chain that may stretch back over 100,000 years. The greatest mystery isn't what the first word was. It's how a simple sound became everything we call civilization. We'll probably never know the identity of the first human who truly spoke. Their name is lost forever. Their voice vanished tens of thousands of years ago. But every time you tell a story, teach someone, or simply say hello, you're continuing a chain started by people whose words changed the future forever.